Hi guys, this is Ocean. This is going to be a surprise walkthrough of the Prisma Vision Tarot, the 5th edition, because, surprise to me, because a friend of mine sold this deck, and this was a deck that I missed out on the previous Kickstarter. Not maybe it was the 6th edition, which is matte, and this is shiny. But I kind of, convinced myself that I don't want that deck, because most of the people that I watched walkthrough from talked about how well it can be used for pathworking and ancestral work and just past life work, and I don't really do that. So I was like, even though I really like the art style, I don't need the deck. And it was a happy decision because it's quite costly to get an indie deck out of the USA. But then that said, friend was like, I have the 6th edition and I don't need the 5th edition, and don't you know anyone, someone who would like to buy it? And I was like, yes, please. So I got it. I haven't watched a walkthrough since. I quickly went through the cards to be sure that I don't just want it out of FOMO, but I actually really kind of wanted the deck, so this was a great opportunity for me to get my hands on this deck. Obviously, the matte one looks awesome, but doesn't, not every deck has to be matte. Shiny decks can be fun as well. So I know it's not new, but hey, it's new for me. So this is the James R. Reeds, by the way, the creator, and I'm planning on getting the Oracle deck, but now I don't have to back the next Kickstarter with the deck and with the tarot deck and the Oracle deck, which would be like, oh Jesus, too much. So I'm quite happy about that one as well. So if you want to read it, you can. I'm not going to, because I'm not. So this is the Prisma Vision Tarot of the 5th edition, and this 2019. It's a nice box, which I can't close for some reason, and it has metallic foil on top of the deck, and all my family members who stopped and saw the deck on my table, since it sits there, all stopped and they were like, "Oh, that looks really cool, what is that?" So the power of color and artwork is strong with this one. So this is the guidebook. There is a table of content. So, okay, they are not renamed. Right. Prisma Vision. I will read everything. Getting to know. I love the paper, by the way. And I love this. It has a slight of cream tint to the paper, which is, I always prefer that to the white paper. So there are some, like the past life spreads, some spreads, which I will, these 3 I will try, and then we go into the majors, which we have on page with something I'm assuming from the card or not, I don't know, but it's a small symbol. And then yeah, we have the same amount, almost the same, same amount of text for the minors, which is always great. And that's all. And about the artist and the author. Okay, so I'm assuming the author is, so I kind of assumed for some reason that he, James R. Reeds, wrote the guidebook as well, but I guess not. Ooh, and it has such a lovely rose petal finish, which I appreciate in a guidebook cover, because I kind of realized I don't really like that in tarot decks, because it makes it really hard to shuffle. It's really nice to just, fondling the cards, but besides that, I hope, I think it's in order, because I checked the first few cards, so hopefully I don't have to stop and reorder them. And I forgot to ask, obviously, because why would you do that? But okay, this is the back, which is, you know, without the gold and the colors, is on the box. We have the fool with the pelican. So I don't think I will be able to say a lot about the artwork, because I think this is that type of deck where you have to get into the guidebook for that, because it differs from the Rider-Waite's with quite a lot, I think. We have a tiny figure in the hands of the magician. And I know that the majors have borders, and I think the minors doesn't. The High Priestess walking away from the pomegranate. Jesus, why is it so hard? But we have the moon, the Empress looking up, we have the Emperor with the skull. Okay, I don't know about this symbol in the middle, so we have something like that here. No. Okay, we have the Hierophant. So there, I don't know if you can see, but there is this figure which looks kind of like the devil with the horns and everything, holding these papers. We have the key as well. So you can, I'm assuming it's connected to astrology as well. It's a bull, it's Taurus, right? Is it the Taurus card? I know nothing about astrology still. I'm absolutely sorry. I mean, if you want to watch a walkthrough that actually gives you something, then watch Kelly from the Truth in Story, because her walkthroughs are just such a deep source of information. Mine is mostly just like, oh, this is pretty. But yeah, it's interesting that the figures have masks on it, because with the lovers, it's interesting that it kind of suggests dishonesty. The Chariot, ooh, with the dove and a cool car in the rain, showing the way, in a way, I guess. Strength with a bunch of angry lions. Oh, are they, you know, as in dandelions in the grass and someone is walking over? We have the Hermit, which is such a beautiful card. These pinks are gorgeous. I don't know how they show up on camera, but I mean, it's kind of similar to my nails, which is a neony pink. This nail polish looks awesome in UV light, and I don't go anywhere where there's UV light. But yeah, there's a Hermit figure on the little bridge. But there are also tiny, I would say, I mean, this reminds me of those lights that, what is it called? Not goblin lights, but, and not fairy, the one that you, if you follow it in the marsh, you'll drown. Can't remember what's the name. Wheel of Fortune. Huh. 2 snakes. And the bird with a lot of pretty feathers, which, you know, pava in Hungarian. Like, I'm gonna give you the Hungarian word so you don't think I just don't know nothing. I'm not Jon Snow in every aspect of life, just sometimes with language. Justice. Huh. Snake biting the hand. Who cut the snake? So, The Hanged Man. Interesting. In the piranhas, getting some me time. But it's interesting because, you know, with piranha, I think you have to stay motionless, and that's I mean, unless, you know, if you're bleeding, then goodbye, you have no chance. But if you're not, if you have to stay motionless so they don't notice you there. I mean, it's been a while that I've seen anything with piranhas because they are scary. Death with a rose and a skeleton hand. We have Temperance. Oh, it looks like water and not tree, but it could be a tree as well. So interesting. I like it. Ooh, the devil. And it's, oh, which one has the devil as a forest as well? There's another deck. Maybe it's the Spacious Tarot. Some other deck has the forest as a devil. I mean, we have a snake snaking away. But it's interesting that two deck creators look at that card and think about forest. The Tower. Huh. On the edge of shore. The Star. I'm trying to, you know, be not so slow. There's a figure. It's very interesting. I mean, I don't really know which is just imagination. And also there's a head, you know, being filled up with this water. So it's very interesting. I mean, we have all the names for the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith and some elements, but there's so much more, but maybe not more, it's so much difference and just uniqueness to the cards that I'm kind of quite curious how it'll work out. And I don't mind that they're shiny. They are silver gilded, but I think I'm going to just get rid of the gilding because it always cuts into my hand at some point. Because interesting, the sun is melting flowers. Because right now I can't be bothered doing anything edging, and just, I mean, I have decks that I wanted to edge. I bought the ink pads, I have everything, and I don't feel like doing that. The Judgment. Do you dare to open the door? And, you know, face what's behind that. The Word. With so many things inside. Like, really. We have the piranhas, the moon, that bird, some flowers, and the snake, and the dove, and the lion, and something else here, and the eye in the middle of it. Ace of Wands, which looks quite interesting. Let's just stay PG. But I mean, it's phallic symbol, the wand, anyway, so if you see, you see. If you don't, you don't. And I think, yeah, I mean, you can, you know, I'm not going to do that because I don't have the space, but these cards can be put next to each other to tell a story, which is really cool. But like I said, Kelly, I will link her walkthrough of the deck below, because she always does that. She puts all the cards next to each other so you can actually see how they look. The Two of Wands. And then we have the Three. I mean, I hope I'm still in frame. Interesting that it's not starting the journey, but opening up something, you know, performing magic maybe. We have the Four. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop because I can't see the Four of Wands. Can't see in the frame, but I'm showing you. So Five of Wands. And they kind of look like skeleton people. You have the Six. And the Seven. Seven of Wands, yeah. I'm just thinking about what it means. I love these flowers, they look really cool. The 8. And the 9 with a figure inside. And then we have the 10 of Wands carrying all the load, but inside this magical forest. And how does it connect to here? Ah, so leaving the forest we have the Page, which is, and feels like, you know, astral travel or something like that. The Knight is between the two, commanding them maybe. We have the Queen, who's bigger than the Wands, the Fire, the Flames. And we have the King, who has all the energies around them, commanding everything. I like that progression. Oh, I like it. I like everything, I know. And the Sun is here, poking inside the Flipthrough. We have the Ace of Chalices. It looks like snow, doesn't it? Changing of seasons. We have, you know, going from this from winter to spring. It kind of feels like that. The 3 dancing, doing ballet on the riverside. The 4 of Chalices, I guess, watching the performance and not really being impressed by it. But you know, no extra. Yeah, all the cups are here, so you know, nothing is given as an extra. We have the 5 of Chalices, dropping them, that's cool. The 6, all with all these lovely flowers. And then we have the 7 of Cups, Chalices, with a snake, sneaky. So it's kind of like, oops, it's tempting you, but there are no real different options, to be honest. So it's more like choosing blindly and not having all the information how these cups are different. Could be there. And you know, that's what makes you not choosing anything, which is a really cool way, I think, to interpret the card. 8 of Chalices, 8 of Cups. And the 9, looking ahead and seeing them, or having, I mean, it should be that you're having them all. But I like the peaceful way this figure is sitting here. The 10, moving up on a tree. We have the Page. Oh, I like these a lot. The 9 of Chalices, who's riding what the Page started, that wave of water. And then we have the Queen, who's sitting on it, you know, more, because the Knight is trying to hold on to it. It looks like that, but the Queen is already, you know, with the half, how is it called? You know, the way the women's supposed to sit in, sit on horses. And also she's, you know, giving back. And then we have the king who's in the water. Really cool. And then we have the Ace of Swords with snow, so it's winter. Yes, please, thank you. The Two of Swords, the Three with a dead animal. Yeah. The Four. And then the Five. Interesting, because they are, you know, having a fight, and there's a butterfly over there, and one of them is realizing that, hey, there's a butterfly and it's the middle of the winter, so what the hell? We have the Six of Swords with more butterflies, more transformation, and interestingly, you know, the swords are the bridge, but the trees are leaning, even though there's not a lot of wind. Okay, Seven of Swords. Kind of feels like Kylo Ren is here. You know, he's trying to sell you some swords now that his gig at Star Wars ended. And just by that I mean the latest trilogy is over. The Eight of Swords, there's the butterfly, and there's another one. And you know, this little butterfly is like, hey, look up, you're not as closed off as you think. Ooh. Okay, Nine of Swords with a very, very scary goose with teeth. And I like that this figure seems like a child, because we can become small when we face our unreasonable fears. You know, even if your logical adult mind knows that this is not something that I'm supposed to be afraid of or worried about, you can't help it. It feels like a giant goose with teeth, even though, you know, your logical mind knows that it's not existing. I mean, whatever. But most likely it's not wandering around in your reality right now. So this is how anxiety works. You can't tell it to just go away. It's not that easy. Ten of Swords. Ooh, nice. I mean, not for them, just how it's depicted. The Page. Ooh, I like that. Can you see that the tail of the geese, goose, whatever, the bird, is made out of butterflies. I like that. These butterflies are really cool. Then we have the Knight of Swords with fighting that monster. And we have the Queen who doesn't want to kill the goose, but has a way to, you know, shut it up. And then we have the King with all the little ones transforming. That's really cool. Okay, so yeah, it's the mama bird that the Queen is taking care of, so that the King can transform them into something less harmful, maybe more peaceful. I'm just totally going off on the artwork, I have no idea. Ace of Pentacles with a lovely door and all these warm colors. And then we have the Two. The Tree building the wall, that's really cool, or house, sorry. With the window of the 5, I'm assuming. 4, sitting, not doing anything, not helping, letting the tree grow. And we have the 5, yeah, with the window placed in, but it's interesting how these light energies or whatever is coming down from the window. And I appreciate the colorful bricks. We also have the 6, sharing what we have. The 7, planting them. I mean, wouldn't it be cool if money would grow on trees? But in a way, you know, it does if you use your resources. 8 of Pentacles. The 9. I really like these colors. And the house is already there. We have the 10 with a family. And you know, I like that it's not about the house, actually. It's more about, you know, the people. We have the page. I want to see how they interact. And then we have the knight with a unicorn. How cool is that? And then we have the queen. She's sitting there. You know, this gives off that nice, peaceful feeling the pentacles have. And then we have the king, who's... What are you doing with the bull? Showing off, I guess. With strawberries. It's kind of have a doggy face as well. Then we have an extra card, the Reverie. Okay, I don't know about the extra card. Let's see. Where is it? Is it even here? So I don't see the card in the guidebook. Or maybe it's... Oh, yeah, it's here. Yeah, okay. So it's a question mark. A wooden boat glides across the shimmering... Yeah. Shimmering pond. As tulips dance in the breeze. Tulips are my favorite flowers, so it's really cool. And the water ripples delicately to the sound of your music flowing through the balmy air. Readers may opt to take Reverie out from their deck as it is not part of... Yes, of course. But what does it mean? If this card comes up in a reading, know that a reverie is always ready for you. So the reverie is the boat or what? I don't know. I'm not familiar with... Oh yeah, it's the... No, it can be that musical instrument. If you ever need to dip into another reality, you have the memories in your mind to stitch together your own perfect piece. But you also must understand that that it is possible to spend too much time in another reality. What is it? Am I being called out? The balance between the two is something you can only teach yourself. Yeah, I kind of feel like that this deck, this edition, I'm kind of assuming that all the different editions have an extra deck. It kind of feels like it's fitting because I spend a lot of my time in my head building up words and spending my time there. But yeah, okay, so that was my little first impression walkthrough, and you can't, you know, really complain because it's not as long as my usual ones, but it's because I really don't know much about the deck yet, but I can't wait to work with it, and I'm so happy that I was able to just get it, you know, out of schedule and whatnot. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.